Hello, everyone. It is Wednesday, the 13th of May. How are you? And you, but especially you. Yes, you. How you doing tonight? Tell me about it. What are you grateful for this Wednesday night, the 13th of May? I am so excited to be here with you. I am. Let me get my other screen going here. I can't do it until it's live. Boom. There we go. Let's see. Does that get me? It's thinking. Boom, boom. Come on here. You can do it, Facebook. I believe in you. I believe in you. There we go. That goes that screen. Ooh, there we go. Hey, Carrie and Lou, how are you tonight? Great to have you here live. Great to have you here live, Lou. It was great to have Aaron on the webinar the other night. Yes, was it only yesterday? I've lost track of days this week. My a little bit of a fog here, but it was only yesterday my webinar with the folks over at Simple Consign. That was a lot of fun. They've already asked me to create another one for them, so happy to do that. Happy to do that and create. I love connecting with resale store owners and creating great content. So, which speaking of which, there's a bunch of new content that I'm recording in the next couple of days to drop. Hopefully, we'll get it all loaded into the Resale Rise program for next week. So I'm excited about that. Been organizing a whole bunch of new lessons, a whole bunch of new lessons. So some neat stuff. So it's fun to be on this new platform and on the new ways that I can create things. So I've really had a lot of fun with it. So I hope you all are enjoying it as well. This is some cool stuff. It's cool. Let's get started with our opening quote here. Ooh. If there's no struggle, there's no progress. If there's no struggle, there is no progress. Frederick Douglass, a writer and activist. There's a little bit of history. But it's true, there's always a little bit. It's meant to be a little bit difficult, okay? If it's worth pursuing, okay? Not everything comes easy. There's not an easy button for that. There's not an easy button for that, is what they say. So, it is good. So tonight I thought I'd talk about trips. Not trips trips we take, but field trips with our staff. So often in any business, doesn't really matter what it is, but we're in the resale business here. Okay. But really and honestly, the business doesn't matter, but in business, and in life sometimes we get stuck in our own head and our own viewpoint, the way that we're used to looking at things. Okay, the lens, I say it often, the lens that we look through. Okay, and when we look through a different lens, or we lift up, sometimes we lift up the glasses, sometimes we're like this, sometimes our glasses are here, sometimes we're like that, and sometimes they're off altogether. But when we look at things through a different lens, we see things differently. That is the same for yourself as the leader in your business. And it is the same for your team. And as you're building a team to do things, it is important to be aware of other things going on. Not for the sake of competition, okay? Because I really believe in resale more than anything else, as long as you're an ethical operator. Well-run resale lifts up well-run resale. And that's very common in other industries. People worry about competition, or people copying them, or learning something from them, and it's a bunch of hogwash. A well-run coffee shop actually does better when Starbucks comes to town, is a perfect example. Lots of business studies on that, um, and how that works. And the same is true in resale. But hey, Rick, how are you? Great to have you here live tonight. Um, so that's important, but the real importance is getting different perspectives and different views and taking your team on field trips to see different things. Even traditional retail, to know the differences, to go into Nordstrom and Neiman's and see what the difference is, to go into Macy's, to go into Raymore and Flanigan and Bob's, okay, to go to the higher end furniture stores, to go visit these different places to get perspective and to do it periodically. It doesn't have to be an everyday thing. It doesn't even have to be a once a month thing. It can be a twice a year field trip or a once a year field trip. But taking yourself out of the store, taking people with you to other things, go an hour away from your store, for example, is a great way to see other things, and see what is happening, what is trending in retail. Quite honestly, even going through a Target or a Walmart, okay, and seeing what people are buying or what they're looking at or what is getting them excited, okay, because Target and Walmart are great copiers of higher end stuff. And so going through and seeing what they're doing is great lessons in things. Taking people through the dollar store, okay? Taking your team on a field trip to the dollar store and showing them the differences, between the home decor that the dollar store sells and the home decor you want in your store is a real difference, okay? It seems like it's obvious to you, but it's not obvious to your team. And these field trips do really well. Hey, Jessica, how are you tonight? Great to have you here live from Canada. Okay. They really do create a connection with your team and elevate them. Okay. It allows them to feel valued and to take ownership of things. So it is always, you know, store owners are like, how could I take time away from myself, much less pull my team out of the store? But these are investments. When you invest in yourself in this way, when you invest in your team in this way, great things happen. Okay, great things really do happen with you and your team, and that's why you do it. That's why you make these investments, okay, because they pay dividends down the road. Tomorrow we're taking our team, members of our team, not everyone on the team, okay, but members of our team to some of you may have heard of. It's renowned, okay, the Brimfield Antique Fair, okay, which is a town-wide antique festival, and even calling it a town-wide is really not doing it justice. If you Google it, you can see it's just amazing. Field after field after field of tents set up for, as far as the eye can see, up and down this road, is really amazing. What an amazing place and experience it is, to do. And we do it not to just get a idea of some of the things that may not come in the store. One of the reasons we do this and invest in the team in doing this is because when you do these fairs, the if you were a vendor at these fairs, and it's like, from a business perspective, you look at some of these and they're carrying so much, they're loading so much in vans and trailers and moving trucks, uh, and everything. They're doing it, they're loading it all up, and then they have to redisplay it, okay, for usually a Thursday to Sunday, Wednesday to Sunday, a Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday to Sunday, sometimes only a Friday to Sunday. Keep the displays looking nice as people buy things and barter and trade, and then load it all back up and go to a fair in another town. And so there's really a lot of great things you can learn about in customer service and how you're approached as you go from tent to tent, how people relate to you and what you're looking at, what draws you into a given tent as you go by these thousands of tents, what draws your eye in, because those are the same things that you can do to create vignettes in your store and opportunities in your store. And so bringing people to that to train them and give them the inspiration is a great investment of time and money, and they feel valued. Yeah, Rick, you got to come up here and do it. Sometime. The fall one, the July one. I highly recommend avoiding. They do this 3 times a year. They do it May, July, and September. And so I highly recommend avoiding the July one. It just gets too freaking hot. It just gets too hot uh, to be out there. The the May or the fall one are good. This May one is going to be tough because it's been a rainy week, so I'm expecting it not to be good. But we're going rain or shine tomorrow. Um, but yeah, those two are the July one is for me is just too hot. But that's what we're looking for. That's what we're teaching. That's what we're coming out of booths and asking our staff, what drew you into this? What brought you in? What caught your eye? Because that teaches them to create better displays in your store. What did you like about it once you went in? Okay. Oh, they talked to me. Huh. Like you should be talking to a person in the store. Okay. They asked me what I liked about it. Ooh, they said they complimented my purse. They did different things. What did they do? It gets them out of their element and gets them to see things in a different way. And you can do that in a Macy's, you can do that in a Nordstrom, you can do that in a Raymore and Flynn, you can do that in all sorts of places. You can do it as creating your own resale tour, going to another city an hour away, 2 hours away, making a day trip of it and hitting different resale stores. You can do it. You can do it. There are so many different ways to do it. Okay. But the importance is doing it and just giving it a try and seeing what ideas and inspirations you can bring back to your team, to your store, to your customers. Okay. Because we all know there's plenty of used stuff out there. Okay, there's an endless supply, literally an endless supply of items out there. So we know that and we feel that, but getting your staff to look at things differently, getting your staff to feel it differently, changes everything. When you do that and you invest in them in that way, it changes everything. And when you go to a day like Brimfield, they get fair food too. So fried dough and other things, which just makes them happy. Okay. Which just makes them happy. And happy staff stays longer. Happy staff treats your customers better. And so it is an investment in all of those things. Okay. It is an investment in making your business better. And that's what this is all about. That's why you tune in tonight. Okay, and night after night when I'm on is it's about making you and your business better. So give that some thought. When can you take a field trip? Where can you take a field trip? It doesn't have to be far. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't even have to be all day. It doesn't have to be an all-day event. It can be a part of a day. It can be a morning one week. It is just doing that and getting out of your zone, getting out of your world so you can see things through a different lens. Okay? Some of it will reaffirm that, oh my God, we do that so much better. We do that so much better. And some of it will be like, oh, wow, we can do that so much better. Wow, we can do that. We aren't, but we can do that better. So, give that some thought. Think about where you're going to go. Maybe Rick's going to bring the whole family up here to Brimfield. Maybe it'll be July because it's easy between school and get away from things in South Carolina. And whenever you come up, Rick, we'll catch up with you at Brimfield, even if it's in July. Not my favorite time to go, but even if you came then, I would go with you. I would meet up there with you and hang out with you. It is just a neat it is a neat event, but it's a neat way to look at things. But the way Rick shops, I think you should drive it. And maybe you shouldn't bring the family because you're going to want to buy stuff and bring it back home. I know how you shop. So, uh, but bring some Toowoomba when you come. Toowoomba. Hey, I'm gonna get my names right here too. See, I got it all. I got it. I'm close. I know I'm close. Uh, but that is your challenge. That is your assignment. Is think about where you can take a field trip. Think about that. And while you're thinking about it, you know what else? This video and everything I talk about, uh, 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 everything I talk about goes over to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yes, ring the bell. Ring it so you know when another one drops. You can also share it with all your friends in business. The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, so we can help everybody run a better business. I am here every Sunday and Wednesday at More Eight Than Ish. Sunday and Wednesday at More Eight Than Ish. But if you have a question in between, just email me, Neil, Neil, at resalerise.com. It depends on the size of the group, or, small subgroups work better. When if there were 10 of you or 6 of you all landing in one place at the same time, it's a lot, Rick. So, less is a little more, or ways to spread out. If there's a couple stores in the same area you're going to, you can hit one and then reverse it. We start the program every night with our opening quote. Our opening quote tonight is, "If there's no struggle, there's no progress." Our closing quote tonight is, "Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago." Boom. Boom, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah. I had a good time at the Simple Consign webinar. The recording of that's going out soon. I know they're putting that out there. So if you didn't catch it live, make sure you watch the replay. But until then, and until Sunday at More Eight Than Ish, know that you, but most importantly you, yes, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you, yes, you, on Sunday.